Good morning and welcome. It is Monday the 14th of February. This is Flat Cap Callum. I'm hoping you are all very, very well. It is Valentine's Day and hopefully there's some love in the air for the horses I've got for you. I couldn't resist some sort of cheesy mention there. We'll see how we get on today. We've got a normal staking day, £20 day. We've got some interesting bets coming up for you and some decent prices today. So it could be a hero or zero kind of a day. We'll see. Before we get to today's bets, we'll do a review of yesterday, review of the golf, and then we'll do today's bets. And then at the end, for those that want to hear a bit more detail about the stats, we've got that as well. Okay, so yesterday, horses. I think is the word I would use. We only had £10 on yesterday. It was half stake day, 524 back, so we got just over half our stake back, which it's not a good day. It wasn't a big loss, but not a good day at all. First leg of the Lucky 15, Captain Spirit, Julie went and won, which was really nice. We had it 6-1 on the channel. It looked like it was going to be a nice lined up bet. Second leg, Urban Grit, underperformed, didn't do well. It was quite a bit of horses struggling on heavy ground, I think, yesterday. 240, Stones and Roses, poor decision by me. Thanks, Tony, for the tip. I shall now be putting Willie Mullins's blog on my reading list as a daily basis. So Stones and Roses, it did get backed in right to 4-1 as the SP. It snuck in 5th, so we did get it as an each way place on Sky Bet. And then Golden Cosmos didn't quite get there, so we only had a win and a place in that Lucky 15. So we got 524 back for the 750. And then Largy's debut, which was the single bet, was really disappointing. It ran disappointing last time. I was really hoping it was going to be back on form yesterday. It wasn't. So 10 on, 524 back. That was yesterday's horses. Frustrating, to be honest. I feel like in hindsight, I maybe should have gone a little bit more at Southall, because my read of jumps racing in Ireland at the moment is seemingly a little bit not where I would like it to be, whereas my read of the all-weather is better, Lingfield aside. So anyway, that's my own personal internal voices chatting to me. For the golf was a really much more positive story. So the Ras Al Khaimah, we had 3 golfers there. Lee Hao Tong did okay, but not near the places. And then Ross Fisher, Hurley Long, both in the top 5 each way. So 90-1 on Ross Fisher, 125 on Hurley Long. So we got a £22.50 return for that. Absolutely delighted to get two golfers, those sort of prices in the top 5 was a really nice result. And following on from a few weeks ago, we had an 80-1 winner, Luke List. So golf bets are doing really well on the channel. Even though I have to say that the Phoenix Open Waste Management, Max Homer started off well. At one point he was 2 shots within the lead in the final round and then dropped back, so we got nothing back on that one. But £22.50 for our £10 stake. Golf bets just on their own for the channel are up 70%, so you've got 70% profit on the golf. There's no way I would ever be able to maintain that. I don't believe. You never know, but we'll see. This week's golf, I think, is only going to be one tournament, so it's going to be a smaller golf bet. But golf bet's doing really well, so happy with that. All right, that's the golf. Into today's bet. So we have got some much bigger prices than we've had the last few days. Not because I've been fishing for it, looking for it. I just think there's a few that I'd like to have a go at today. So we've got a couple of Lucky 15s. We've got an each way Trixie. And I've also, for the first time, put in some forecasts. I don't do forecasts very often, but for certain types of races and for certain types of prices, I feel like it's worth having a go. In the long run, if you find the value in them, it can pay, but you need to find the right prices and the right races and the right horses. So chances are these won't come in. It's very hard to land forecasts, but I only do it if I think the prices make it viable in the long run. So bet 1 is one of our Lucky 15s. We've got 2 Lucky 15s of equal stake today. Bet 1, and these are the races at Catterick and Plumpton paying extra places on Sky Bet. So 1 o'clock Catterick paying 4 places. I'm going to go on the rank outside of Frightened Rabbit. There's form enough to me that says 33-1 is too much of a big price. I think it can go on any ground. It didn't run so well last time, but 33s I think is well overpriced. So I'm giving a go on Frightened Rabbit. 220 Plumpton, the Jungle Pros, 18 to 1. I think that's really overpriced. I can really see that framing, so I'm sticking that in. So we've got two big prices. And then you'll notice that we've got a strange one, 330 Plumpton, Full of Light. There's only 8 runners. Sky Bet is still paying 4 places. And I'm taking the favourite because I can't see anything else at a price that I think is solid enough. Whereas I think the favourite's super, super solid. So I'm putting that in only because I've got some bigger prices to go with it. I wouldn't normally put that in to a lucky 15, but given the other prices, I think that's worth putting in. And then the 440 Plumpton, still paying 5 places at the moment. Amlovey 15 to 2. And that's the one circle where there's an additional single on there. So we've got a 20p each way lucky 15, extra 50p each way single on the bottom one, Amlovey. That's bet 1. Okay, bet 2. These are our forecasts. I've been chopping and changing bets all morning with non-runners and that market moving. It's been quite frustrating, but I am cool with where we've got to. So these are the first 2 forecasts we've ever done on the channel. As I said, they come with massive health warning. That's really hard to land them. I feel like at the prices and the construct of the race, these are worth a go. So we've got 220 Plumpton, the Tin Miner and the Jungle Pros, and the 6 o'clock at Wolverhampton, Dark Esteem and He's Our Star. So these are reverse forecasts, so both ways. So you need to make sure if you are putting these on that you tick it as reverse forecast, not forecast or straight forecast. So it means you get them either way around. 50p reverse forecast, so it's a £1 bet each, £2 the total for the 2. So I think these are worth a go. We'll see. I'm not intending to do lots of forecasts on the channel. It's just the way the prices were today. I felt like these were the first time since we've started that I felt like it was worth popping them in. So that's bet 2. Bet 3s are kind of more high risk each way tricksy for today. These 3 I think all worth a little go at a price. So 315 Catterick, Brian Barana. It is handicapped to do well, but there was some improvers in the race. So 16s, last night was 33s, but 16 is still a good enough price. Only 6 runners paying 2 places. It's worth a little go against some of those improvers because it has got solid enough form. And then 350 Catterick, Monaghan Boy. There's not much, I don't think, on ratings between sort of the top 6 or 7, and that's the one at a price I want to have a little go at. And then the 7 o'clock Wolverhampton, note there, Sky Bet customers, that is paying 4 places. I'm quite surprised, paying 4 places on there. There's not much form to go on a lot of these, and there's a lot of Charlie Appleby action going on in that race. But I'm going with an unraced horse, Jalea Moon. There's some really good pedigree in there. And at 28, you often find this when you've got a lot of kind of the top trainers rate horses all in the same race. Some of these bigger prices that are not run, that have got good pedigree, get overlooked when it's a slightly smaller yard like the Chapelheims. So we're going 20p each way Trixie and a 40p each way singles on the 3. So that's bet 3. And finally, bet 4 is a Wolverhampton each way lucky 15. So Wolverhampton each way lucky 15. 5 o'clock, it's a bit like the first lucky 15. We're having a go at some prices the first 2. Astrophysics, I think, is overpriced at 16 to 1. So we're putting that in. That was quite easy. 5:30, Dodgy Bob. Now, there's bits and pieces of form, but I think it's really noticeable that Holly Doyle's booked to ride that horse. And that's just tipped me over into putting it in today's bet because I think it's an interesting jockey booking. 640 Dark Esteem, really competitive race, but I like the price of that horse, 17 to 2. And then 8 o'clock Wolves, only a small field, so it's only paying 2 places. Harbour Vision, 17 to 2. Again, decent price, so really nice prices on those 4. 20p each way lucky 15 and an additional 50p each way single just on Dark Esteem in that 6 o'clock, £7 bet. So that is our £20 for today. If you don't want to hear about stats, you can turn off now. If you want to hear about stats, please stay on the line. All right, so we finished last week 140 on, 130, 77 back. So it was a loss of 923, which is a 6.6% loss. So disappointing, to be honest, not to get over the line there. We just didn't have any day where we had a decent win. We had a couple of profitable days. We had more less profitable days, and those outweighed the small profits. So we didn't get there despite the golf doing quite well. Overall, the channel is still in profit. So if you bet every single thing I said at every single price through Sky Bet, we are in profit because I'm in profit for the channel. albeit small at the moment. We're now down to 2.46%. So it's a very small margin of profit. What I would flag, and this is, those of you who've been watching this channel get this. This is about honesty and transparency. The golf bets are masking the fact that the horse bets have slipped a little bit. So golfing bets, as I mentioned before, 70% to the good. So 70% profit on golf bets for the channel, which is cracking. The horse bets, for the first time at the end of the week, we are now a little bit behind. So we are 1.4% behind on horse racing bets, which is just really frustrating from my personal point of view. I feel like if I'd done a few things a little bit different, we wouldn't be looking at that. That being said, important context that I guess I want to flag. This is a brand new channel. We've been going 5 weeks. Before this channel started, my daily betting habit wouldn't be £20 through Sky Bet. How do I best use £20 or £10 if it's half state, whatever? That's not how I'm used to necessarily betting. So I'm learning as I go a little bit around how I make the stake to not make it too complicated and change the stake every day. How do I make that fit for the channel? So to basically be up for the channel, tiny bit behind for the horses after 5 weeks, I'm actually really, really pleased, because this is about long-term game. This is about how do you make long-term profit. And I know the vast majority of people, if they set up a channel like this, would be carrying a much bigger loss on any bets that they place on here. So I know in the context of that, are you going to make $1 million in the last 5 weeks? No, you're not. Are you going to make $1 million in the next 50 weeks? I don't think so, but we're trying to make some profit over the long term. All right, a few other interesting stats. Our win percentage of our win bets, we had 15 win bets, 5 won. So it's about a third, well, it's a third exactly, which is in line with where we've been. 62 each way bets, 3 of them were winners, which is sort of in line with where we've been. But the 2 things that have really let the horse bets down this week, and that's where the figures are slightly not so good, only had 18 out of 62 win or place, which is 29%. And we were in a place of 40s, 30-something%. So 29% is by far and away the worst figure in terms of percentage of horses win or place for the each way bets. And that's what's let us down last week, as well as the prices. So we didn't find as many good prices last week. So the best each way price we got was 18s as a place, whereas every other week of the channel we've had at least 2 20 to 1 plus places, and we've had in each of the last 3 weeks we've had a double figure winner, and we haven't had that this week. So some of it is about prices, but also some of it is about percentages of win or place. That's what's let the figures down last week. So overall, to be honest, to be behind by 6.6% last week, not a bad effort considering you look at those figures. So at the end, where are we? We're in profit for the channel, so we are cracking on today. It is a high risk day today. There are some big prices. It definitely could be a dot day, so a day where we get nothing back if it doesn't go our way. Equally, it could be a really nice day if some of those things land up together. Either way, whatever happens, I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow for some more betting action. Thanks very much. Cheerio.